Welcome to the Self Love Uncensored Podcast. We are your hosts. I am Vanessa McWilliams.
And I'm Amanda Wozni.
And we are self-proclaimed experts in all things self-love.
Here you'll find uncensored discussions about life, living unapologetically, and becoming our best selves. Welcome to episode 19.
19. Every single time, I just get so excited about what number we're on.
We're legal in BC.
Yes, that's right. We talked about that last time. That's 100%. Yeah.
Now, I don't think anywhere is 20, so we'll have to skip for 21. Then you're legal worldwide for gambling and everything.
Then we're going to have a party. We'll have to do a giveaway.
Then we'll just be old after that.
Right? We'll have to have birthday milestones. Maybe on
Let's host a party in Vegas for our 21. Okay. Can we do that?
Do it. Yes. We'll have giveaways on our episode. Let's do a fun giveaway. Fun. Let's think about that for our episode 21. So good. We'll preface this with, we're both home with children who are in moods and not wanting to go to bed. So this is going to be a very real world episode because we very well
it's almost 9:00 on the last night before school finishes, to give you some context. So we're we're just
trying to get organized,
grinning and bearing it to get over the line here.
Hit record and hope for the best.
Right. Exactly.
Oh, you know what? I think it's kind of perfect to go along with what we're talking about today, though. Like, we're going to talk about just starting, like not overthinking the things when you've got a goal and don't know where to start, like just finding something and going with it. And I think this is perfect. Like, I think with every single one of our episodes that we've recorded, if we had waited for the perfect time, we'd still be sitting here waiting. Yeah. 100%. Like, you just have to start. It goes
like that with everything, right? Yeah. Like, I mean, short of reaching a stop sign in the middle of buttfuck nowhere where there isn't going to be a car for 100 years, that's about the only time you're going to get like a perfect time to go kind of thing, right? Mm-hmm. But it can be overwhelming and it can feel anxiety inducing and it can feel stressful and it can feel scary. And sometimes just starting is just the smallest thing. And we're going to tell you some of the things that we've done over the course of our self-development and our achievement of goals, of ways that we have just started. Sometimes it involves even tricking yourself.
Yes.
Whatever you have to do, right? And sometimes just starting doesn't even involve doing anything to do with the thing either. Like, it can be something totally unrelated. So
100%.
But we'll start by telling you. So this was inspired by James Lawrence on Instagram. I totally suggest you go follow this guy. He's phenomenal. His Instagram handle is at Iron Cowboy James. So he's a triathlete. He used to do Ironmans. Now he does, what does he call it? His Iron Cowboy Triathlon or something like that. Okay. Anyways, I first heard of him on Andrew Frizella's podcast, like a long, long time ago. And originally he had done this absolutely like super fucking human feat. So he did 50 triathlons in 50 days in all 50 different states. So
wow.
I know you probably didn't even know about that one, right?
No, I didn't. I knew about his one that he just did. How the hell would you do one every day? And like, I understand it
was wild. So I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, they did Hawaii and Alaska first, just because of like geography. Obviously it was ridiculous. And then to be able to like coordinate flights and stuff like that. So, right. Like an Ironman, a triathlon, I should say. I shouldn't use Ironman. They get all butthurt if you use their name, but whatever. That's what everybody identifies it with, right? Like Ironman is a brand of triathlon competitions. So what a triathlon is it is a 2.4 mile swim, which is 3.9 kilometers for our Canadian listeners, 112 mile bike ride, which is 180.2 kilometers. And a full marathon, a 26.2 mile run, which is 42.2 kilometers. So this is like, depending on your speed, like a 14 to 17 hour day. Like this isn't just a couple hours of exercising. This is like all fucking out for like literally 14 to 17 hours a day. So he did it 50 days consecutively. He did one every single day initially in all 50 different states. So they obviously pre-planned like all of their routes. They knew where everything was laid out.
That is so crazy.
So anyways, I know, right? It's fucking wild. And like, to think that could ever be topped.
Yeah.
Like, that's got to be arguably one of the like most insane human feats of like fitness or sport ever, period. But he has since topped it. But anyways, on that episode, so they were covering him going through this, and this isn't going to be verbatim or anything, but I remember him saying that there was some point at which like he started to struggle. You get all sorts of freaking issues with your fucking feet, like he's lost toenails, like all sorts of crazy shit happens, right? Like that's a lot of physical endurance and force and stuff to put your body through. And he was struggling, and I remember him saying it had something to do with his daughter, because his daughter had committed to run like 5K of the run or something every night with him, and they were doing it with people that they were meeting up in every city. And he, when he wanted to quit, she had said something to him that like made him realize that he needed to keep going, and like that what he does, like his greatest goal and legacy that he wants in the world is to be a good father. So that's pretty cool. That shows you how much he loves his family, and she really helped him get through that. And the quote he said that really, like, as soon as I heard him say this, I was like, I will follow this guy. This guy knows something that I need to be able to learn from. And he said that he who has a why to live can bear almost any how.
Wow.
Isn't that?
Oh, that one lands.
Yeah.
So good.
So good. So as soon as I heard that, I was doing 75 hard at the time. I remember stopping and I was like, I gotta go find this guy and I gotta go find this quote, and like, holy fuck, I need to rewind and re-listen to that. And it's just like, if you really stop and let that sit with you for a minute, like your why is everything, right? So that's what helped him push through the first one. So now it was only within the last 2 weeks, he's actually managed to beat his own record.
This is crazy.
He's wild. He's done 100 full distance triathlons in 100 days consecutive. He actually did 101.
I was just going to say.
The 101st day he got up. And I remember pulling up his Instagram, came up that the stories were on there or whatever. And it showed a picture of him at the pool. I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me. Like, you could rest and you're going back. Like one more just for good measure. Like,
well, and that's part of what we teach though, too, when we do like transformation weekend and stuff, like when we're getting you to do the exercises and such, like we don't just stop at whatever number, we run through the finish line. Like if we tell you to write down 10 things, we want you to hit 12, like 100% to push yourself.
I think part of that, and it's been really interesting, this is kind of like a side tangent, but it's been really interesting to watch him come out of doing that, because that's a quarter of a year, 100 days. And I remember him
identity thing.
That was his whole fucking life. Like he literally lived, breathed, slept, ate, and drank triathlons for 100 days. Not just him, his wife, his kids, his entire team. Like he had like a full team, right? So to do that for 100 days, to do that for 3.5 freaking months straight, and then to just wake up and be like, I don't have to go do 17 hours of exercise today. Who am I independent from that situation? Right. So that's been really interesting to watch. And I actually liked what he said at his final speech. It was funny. He was like, I kind of thought, 100 days doesn't sound too bad. He's like, man, if somebody would have told me that was a quarter of a year, he's like, I probably would have said that's a bad idea. That was an interesting perspective shift too. Right. Like,
that's like a third of the year, 365 days. About a quarter, almost a third. Crazy.
It's a lot.
Well, I can't bitch about hauling my laundry basket up the stairs now tomorrow when I do laundry and it's heavy on my hip. I'm gonna think about it. There's a guy that's could have been doing a triathlon today. And again, for the next time, like, it's so cool, but it's
incomprehensible.
It is. It's like mind boggling to think about it. Right. But I mean, the amount of training and conditioning and stuff that goes into that is like, you look at and this is such a good, like, thinking about it now, it's so true that most people will see the 100 days that are put in when he's going for his goal, and it's, on Instagram and all the things, but it's the years of preparation that go into that before that no one else sees. It's like everything to do with success and stuff too, right? We always see people that, all of a sudden they come out of nowhere and they have this massive fame and they've got this all, success and all the things. But in reality, it's like that person, and I mean, there are lots of people who are born into very fortunate circumstances that have lots of things given to them. That's totally okay. But for 99% of people who are massively successful and become overnight successes, there's at least 10, 15, 20 years of hard grit and grind that no one sees until the success is made.
And not just for that person. Like in his situation, you got to think about like the body work people. Like he had a massage therapist and stuff with him every day, and all of their expertise leading up to it, to know how to help his body and rehab his body, like in hours, not days. Like normally when we get sore muscles and we go get work done, like we take a rest day or two. This guy doesn't have, he's literally sleeping while they're massaging his body because he needs to get up in a few hours to go do it again.
So
like it's
crazy.
just, it's wild.
Yeah.
But when I see that accomplishment and I see what he's gone through and how he's done it and how he's succeeded, right, with the people around him, like that quote that he said before just hits even more. Like, you know that he's doing it because his why is so strong that he's not going to fail. 100%. He literally got, I don't remember what day it was on, but he got freaking hit by a car at some point, or ran into a car. Like there was even an accident and he carried on.
Yeah. Like, well, that's the thing. And when we,
not a blimp, but
no, equally as horrifying though. But like,
yes,
you know, I would even think that if I heard a guy was trying to do 100 triathlons in 100 days, and on day 59, he got hit by a car and he decided to quit, I'd be like, fucking bravo. Like you made 59 days or whatever, how many days that he got hit by a car. Like for him to decide that he wanted to quit, everyone would have been like, what you did was spectacular. But for the fact that he like got up and kept going and he would not allow himself to fail, like that is incredible. That is massively incredible.
I know. He's crazy. So
it's a testament to your why. That's why your why is so fucking important.
Yes.
It's the thing that gets you to start and keep going.
So today, the post I saw that kind of made me think that this was a good topic to cover. He posted about so he called it the Conquer 100. He said during the Conquer 100 that the swim was his safe place. So that's like what starts the event every day. I've been asked this question a lot. At what point during each day did you know you were going to finish? And he said the answer was as soon as he started swimming. This is the mindset you have to have with any big challenge. There's controversy on whether just starting is a big enough of a step. I think getting started is one of the hardest steps. And that's why I knew that if I started, I was going to be successful each day. Just start. And like, when you think about how big of an achievement that is, and that's all he did, that's all he set himself up for every day. Get to the pool, get in the pool.
Yeah.
And then it just happens, right? Yeah. Like once you're there, you may as well fucking do the work. Yeah. And then once you're done the swim, well, you're not going to not do the bike. Once you're done the bike, fuck, you're almost there. You may as well, almost there, run 42 kilometers. Like
totally.
Right.
Well, and it's so much like when people have a goal to go to the gym X amount of days during the week and stuff.
That's our favorite example.
Yeah. The hardest part of going to the gym is putting on your fucking shoes and getting in your car. That's the hardest part of it. As soon as you're there, it's like cakewalk. Just
or walking in the door. One of the two, right? Like just getting to there.
Yeah.
It's not actually the workout that's hard. It's the anxiety or the change or the start or the whatever it is, right?
100%. It's just deciding to go and going.
Yeah. I know our mentor, Aaron's told us that lots, right? Like if you think you're not going to go to the gym, well, like lay out your workout clothes or sleep in your workout clothes, have your shoes right beside your bed, wake up in the morning, put them on. Once you're already in workout clothes and have shoes on, you may as well work out, right?
Well
like, are you really going to go through all the effort and take everything back off and put something else back on or go back to bed?
Yeah. That's why we do most of our goal work first thing in the morning. That's why most of my morning routine is, you know, I do my reading, I do my journaling, I say my 10 things I'm grateful for. I'll sometimes do a workout in the morning if I decide I want to. And that's because I know later in the day, I'm not going to want to do my workout. And if it's in, you know, part of my goal, then I know I have to do it first thing in the morning or else it's not going to happen. Right?
Well, and I think that's important that like decision fatigue is also a lot higher in the morning, or like lower, I should say lower, put that in the right context.
As the day goes on.
Yeah. Like think of it that like you have like a bank account and it has an X number of decisions that you can make in a day without like losing your fucking mind and confusing yourself or talking yourself out of things. And obviously it's higher in the morning because you haven't made a ton of decisions. So it's easier to make the harder decisions in the morning than it is in the afternoon. It's the same thing for, you know, you're more energized in the morning after you get up, but you get that lump in the afternoon where you're just really tired, or you tend to eat better in the morning. And then by the afternoon, it kind of all slides away. Right. So that fatigue on making decisions, it gets way more difficult to make good decisions later on in the day. So that's totally a good point, that sometimes if you really struggle, morning is the best time to make the decisions. Well,
you just get such a good, like for me, it's such a confidence builder, because when I wake up in the morning and I know what I've already got myself planned to do and I do the thing, I've started my day off with accomplishment. Right. So I don't have to worry about
yourself, like we
100%,
like we covered last time, right? Like that integrity with yourself, that also that helps sustain your decision bank account towards the end of the day, right? Like if you decided you were going to wake up and you were going to work out and you just did that and you didn't think about it for 4 hours, right? And then at the end of 4 hours, your brain's already exhausted from, am I going to work out? Am I not going to work out? I'm really tired. I'm not tired. Like, you're just wasting energy. So the more things that you can just do like that and get them done, the better.
Well, it helps take control of your day. Like, I think both of us, just being in the mindset that we're not reactive to our day, we're proactive towards our day. And I mean, when you get into like, when most people, and I hate to say it, but most people live in kind of a reactive state where they focus on the things, a little bit of the things that they can control, but then really their day just kind of goes and things happen when they happen. It does. And I think like when you have a big goal and you're trying to start something, you do really have to put, you know, I call it a power hour first thing in your morning, where you focus on one thing that you're trying to accomplish and you just do that one thing first thing in the morning, so that you don't have to worry about the rest of your day bombarding you. And all of a sudden you're in an unexpected meeting, or you get a phone call and one of your kids is sick and you have to rush home to get your kid. And then all of a sudden your hour after dinner that you were going to work out during, you know, that something happened in your, right. That's just it. And your day is just going and going and going. And it's like, you need to be proactive with your time and make a decision. And the best time to do that is before anything else has a chance to fuck up your schedule. Do it first thing in the morning. And if you need to get up an hour earlier or half an hour earlier, do it. It'll be the best gift you can give yourself.
Yeah. I think that's something that we probably have to do an episode on, is time management too. And like the time, like time blocking, time chunking kind of thing, right? Like decide the few things in a day or in a week or in a month or whatever your time frame is that you like to work with, that are like non-negotiable things that you need to work on. Right. Like if you have a goal towards fitness, that's going to be your gym time. If you have a goal towards building a business, well, that's going to be business time, however that looks. Pre-plan that stuff in your calendar, make a freaking date with yourself, put it in your phone if you need to as a reminder, right? And act like you're making that promise, like with your best friend or your mom or something, and you fucking show up.
Totally.
Right.
Even if it's 15 minutes,
do it.
Yep. There's been lots of times that I found myself sitting at my computer for a 15-minute chunk of time between a Zoom call and going to get my kids from school. Like just because it's the only 15 minutes I have free during the day. And that 15 minutes is usually the best 15 minutes out of the whole week, because I get so much done knowing I only have 15 minutes to get it done. Right. We'll totally
and just knowing that you have that time, like make it something that can work within your schedule. I mean, don't be like, okay, I'm going to work out from 3 to 4 PM, even though I know I have to pick my kids up at 3:15. So it's going to be a disaster.
Totally
right? Like,
not happening.
Pick stuff that will work within your schedule, that makes sense within your schedule, and then just do them. And if those things are difficult for you to do, like we said, just start. So if it's business time at 3:00 in the afternoon, all you're going to do is promise yourself, okay, I'm going to get to my computer and I'm going to turn it on.
That's
right.
It.
My workout time is at 7:00. I'm going to drive to the gym and I'm going to walk in the door and I'm going to see how I feel once I'm inside the door. Don't worry about all the stuff that's going to come after, because once you're in the groove of something, that's when it feels better and it just flows better.
100%. Yeah.
So what's the time that you just started?
What's the time that I just started?
What's the time that you just started?
What's the time that I just started? I was like, what? It's 9:00. What are you talking? You have a clock. I'm like watching my dog over my computer, making, because he's got eyes on something. I'm like, I swear to God, if you start fucking barking, I'm gonna lose my shit. Like waiting to hit the mute button, and then you caught me off guard. So
My bad, sorry.
No, it's all good. I'd have to say the best example for me of a time that I just started was when I started Confident Curls. So my old wig business that I had started basically from nothing. I had literally got myself into like analysis paralysis, thinking, okay, I'd had this awkward run-in with this salon owner who had embarrassed me in front of a salon full of women when I was going to buy a wig at one point. And I left and I knew I needed to do something. But when I left and, the next day I wake up and I'm like, okay, I have this calling on my heart, we'll call it, that I know I'm being called to like do something because I see a problem here. I know myself what can help fix this problem because I live it every single day. And I know I'm not the only one out there. And I started doing this work and I started thinking, and the next day when I woke up, I was like, okay, I have just created this gigantic business in my head. Oh my God, like, where do I even begin to think of where to start? Right. Like I had just thought about it so much in my mind and in my brain that I couldn't even think about the little time. Oh my God. It was like a mountain and a molehill. Right. Like, and so one of the things that I did after ruminating on it for like probably 6 weeks, I just could not figure out where to start, is I had some really amazing advice, and I can't even remember who told it to me. It could have been Aaron, told me to sit down and mind map it all out. So I went out and I got a gigantic piece of poster board, and I literally put a circle in the middle, which was, Confident Curls. I didn't even have a name yet for it. I just knew I wanted to do a wig business. Right. And I just started mind mapping everything. So I knew I wanted to be mobile. I didn't want or have it in my home. I didn't want to have a brick and mortar store. So having it in my home, what would that entail? And I did little branches off of that. And then what am I going to need for retail stuff? Like I had to look for vendors, and then what am I going to drive? Like, how am I going to have decals on my vehicle? So that was a little thing for my mobile. And I literally just dumbed it all the way down to, what are my business cards going to say? Right. Like, what website am I going to use? And I literally took that poster board and I looked at it and I thought, what is the most simple thing on this entire poster board that I can do today? Like that I could do in the next hour to just start. And mind you, at this time, I was running a full-time day home. So I had 5 kids in my house, plus my little guy my youngest would have been 1 and my oldest would have been 4. So I had 7 kids. No, that's a lie. I had 6 kids in my house, 4, and then my 2. And all of them were under the age of 6. And I'm running this company and I'm trying to earn my day home, and I'm trying to create this new company, and my husband's working on the road, and it's just chaos. Right. And I thought out on this entire paper, what is the first thing that I can start with? Right. And the very first thing I did was I just opened up my laptop and I went on, I think Vistaprint, and I went on and I started creating my business cards. That was it. I just pulled up a template for a business card and I thought of, okay, what colors represent me? I didn't think too much about my branding yet because I was just starting. And that's all I did was I just started mucking around on a business card. But then I also, knowing now, know that would have been like, that wasn't a directional activity. That was like a supporting activity. We'll get into that on a different episode. But the day after that, I decided, okay, while I'm working on my business cards, what's another step I can do that will be something that kind of goes along with my business cards, but is actually directional activity that's going to get me closer to opening the company, because business cards isn't going to make me money. Right. So then the next day, while I had kids napping, I had time blocked it in my schedule that the kids are going to be watching a movie and the babies are going to be sleeping. I'm going to pick up the phone and I'm going to call 2 wig suppliers. And that's it. I called 2 different wig suppliers that I was familiar with from wearing their products in the past and that I trusted already, and got in touch with them, left voicemails on their salespeople's whatever voicemail. And that was it. Literally, like, I dumbed it down to these really minor little tasks. But then as soon as you start getting those things out of the way, that tiny little pebble of sand just starts rolling, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And all of a sudden, within 6 weeks, I had a stock of wigs. I had funky colored suitcases. I had my first stack of business cards, and I had decals on my van, a really shitty website. And I went on social media and said, hey, I'm Vanessa and I have a mobile wig company. Please like my page. And with that was in, I want to say August. And in March, I had won an award in Calgary for my vision in my business, helping women. So it's like, it all started with 2 phone calls and starting to make business cards. Like, and that's the thing is,
super small.
Had I looked at that big picture I had created in my mind about what this business is going to be, I never would have fucking started. No. Because the business cards and making those little phone calls never would have registered in my mind had I kept looking at that big mountain of the full outcome that I wanted. Right. So that's it. You have to really, I always suggest mind mapping whenever you're stuck, get it out of your brain, get it on paper, and let this space free up this space, because you need it for your creativity, not the thinking of all the things. Right.
Yeah.
So, what about you?
Yeah, I love that. And I just really want to say about yours too, that like, that's something that we teach all the time, right? That like your goal is some great big thing, but what we want to do is we want to break it down into these small steps, and those small steps are where you just start, right? Like you pick one of those and that's what you do. The biggest one I can think of for me that kind of had the most impact is the same one that I told in my intro episode, which was forever ago now.
I know, right? Like. Back when we were
months and months ago. Yeah. But for me, like I really wanted to regain control of my health. And I had tried repeatedly, and I was kind of like a one night stand with the gym kind of thing, right? Like go in once and then get really sore, or shred my hands or something. And I was like, oh my God, I need like 6 weeks off now. Right. Cause I worked so hard. That doesn't work that way.
That's what I did with
boxing. The last first time that I went back, I went in, and I picked up, I was even going in to work out. I just went in, because I was thinking about like contract, right? Because money was the biggest issue and the contract was cheaper. So I went in and got the contract, and I was looking at it and I was like, okay, there's a 6-month contract that's like X price. And then there's a 12-month contract. It's a little bit cheaper. If you don't sign a contract, it's quite a bit more than both of those. Then I was looking at the cancellation policies and I was like, okay, if I sign for the 6-month one, like the price we can do, the cancellation policy sucks. So hopefully that'll be motivation that like, I'll have to fork over this money anyways, even if I want to cancel. And I like reverse psychologied myself into committing, right? So then rather than even thinking about it and pondering over it, I was like, 6 months, sign here, like sign me up, like I'll come back for the next class or whatever. And it's been like 3.5 years. Crazy. So it worked for me, right? Like for me, it was getting in the door, but it was also making that commitment. And it was to me and obviously to the gym, because I did sign a contract, right? Like that, the financial commitment for me, I think was the scarier part, but it was what I had to do for myself. So that was the way that I just started. I basically tricked myself into it and to give myself a way out, right? Like,
well, sometimes you have to do that
in your workout clothes. Like you have a way out, but it's uncomfortable. Like, why, if you're already dressed, are you going to get undressed and change into different clothes? Right? You may as well just do what you're going to do, right?
It's like the walk of shame home after nightstand, right? Like, I don't want to do this. Like,
I got your brain on one night stands.
Totally. I've never had a one night stand. Oh, I've never ventured out that.
You're high school sweethearts, aren't you?
Kind of. I never graduated high school, but I did meet him just after I was like supposed to graduate high school.
Oh, okay.
I never graduated, but I met him when I was 17. So
crazy,
pretty close to it, which is like the craziest thing. Like, we're still only 17, aren't we? Because God, I feel like it.
I know, right? I know.
Oh my God. But no, I think that
beyond
it's
that, go ahead.
We've hit that part of the night where we're
Good
just
chat.
like, what? Yeah, good chat.
What are you talking about? What do you want to talk about?
Totally. No, I think it's so important. And this is like, I'm so glad that you came up with this topic and you texted me today, because I think that this is part of personal development and goal setting and growing your confidence and all the things that so many people overlook. Because I said before, like, it can feel like when you start to think of a goal that you just want the end goal now, right? Yeah. Like you can sit and think about all of the different things that you want your goal to look like, or that you want your outcome to look like, and all the things, but you can sit and think about that all day long. It's like sitting in a rocking chair, right? At the end of the day, you're moving, but you're not getting anywhere. Right? Yeah. Like you can prepare all you fucking want. You can create business cards and create a website and put decals on your van and do all the things. But if you don't make the fucking phone call to get a stock, you're never going to have anything, right? Like it's, you really do. And like I said before, we'll do an episode on what directional activities truly are versus activities that are like supporting activities towards your goals, because I think that definition will really help solidify for you too in making decisions, like what's more important, what's going to get you farther towards your finish line or your goal line quicker than the supporting activities that are just like the supporting activities, right? Like, well, I don't even know how else to say it.
Well, a lot of times those are just more distractions. Those are the 100%. Things that you're doing to avoid doing the actual thing that you need to do, right? Yeah. Like,
and one of the best examples of this is one that we use at Transformation Weekend. Like if you have a goal to run 5K and you've never run a mile or 5 steps in your lifetime, the most people will go out and think, okay, I need to buy running shoes, and then I need to buy a fancy water bottle, and I need to buy running pants or running shorts or whatever it is. You don't get chub rub, whatever. Those are not actually activities that are going to get you closer to your goal. Those are supporting activities. The thing that's going to get you closer to your goal is putting on the shoes or sandals or whatever that you have right now and getting yourself out your front door and going for a run, or going for a walk, or going for a walk and a very short run just to start, right? Like the directional activity is directly going to get you closer to your goal. Whereas the supporting activity is more like your new shoes and your new water bottle. Those things will help you and may be needed, but they don't need to be worked on more than the directional activity that's actually going to be the running that gets you towards your goal.
And it was perfect. I don't even think you realized you said it. You said you need to put on the shoes that you have and get out the door and just get started.
Fucking right.
Literally, that's what we're talking about. Like all of the stepping stones that are going to take you to your goal, everything that you need to do, you just need to start. You don't need to find distractions. You don't need to find excuses. There's nothing else that you need to do, right? Like, it's not like, okay, I need to go to the gym, but I gotta go buy a car first, right? If you don't have a fucking car, walk to the gym. You have 2 legs.
Or don't even have a gym membership. Just go,
whatever.
Just go outside and walk.
There's a way. There's a way. If there's a will, there's a way.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely. That really just hammers home the point of everything that you want to do, desire to do. You just got to start.
Yeah. And if you're not sure where, just sit down and think about something that is really important to you. If you don't even have a goal right now and you want to, create a goal for yourself, think of something that you've maybe been thinking about doing for quite a while and just haven't been able to figure out where to start with it. Sit down and think, okay, what's one thing I could do today that's going to get me now that's going to get me closer to the goal? Is it picking up the phone and making a phone call? Is it researching? And I say researching in a certain way, because we can do all the fucking research and preparation to do the things. But if you don't actually do a directional activity, the research and shit is nothing. You're just sitting, you're just distracting yourself. Yeah. 100%. So like, for instance, when we talked about doing this podcast together, like, when I had started the podcast last year, I had got myself so distracted with making it not this exact podcast, it was a different one, but I did one episode and I was like obsessive about how does my voice sound? And I have to do it a certain way. And I have to have an intro and an outro and all of the things. And I got so caught up in all of the crap that yes, it is important, but not right now to start. Yeah. You're allowed to show up as a beginner. Yeah. Nobody that's really good at anything started really good at anything. Everyone started somewhere and fucking sucked royally. I guarantee it.
Yep.
Like,
and this ties back into the last episode, right? Like all those things, confidence will breed, but you got to start somewhere.
You just got to start.
In order to develop the competence in anything, you have to start. You have to, right? Like you weren't born being able to read, but you likely know how to read now. You weren't born understanding language, but you're listening to us right now and you know what we're saying, right?
Yeah.
These are all things that you had to just start. You just did it without overthinking it.
Yeah.
Right? Like when you're a baby, you're not like, oh, I can't wait to grow up and understand what everybody says. Like you just fucking do it.
Yeah. 100%. And that's just it. Allow yourself to be a beginner. Allow yourself to show up and fail. Like we don't have,
we're doing a lot in life. If you're doing life right.
Yeah. We're on episode 19. We still don't have an intro and an outro, even though we're still talking about getting one, but it's
we have our own one that we just regurgitate every single time. But
we do have one that we'd like to create that would be like fucking amazing. But that's just the thing. Like we could have a paid person create an intro and an outro, and we could still literally be sitting here not recording episodes and waiting for the intro and the outro, right? Like there's so many different things that we've talked about doing.
We almost did that.
We were
talking about this at length, and it was like, okay, you research some and I'll find some. And then the conversation just kind of fell away when we were like, okay, we need to just record an episode. Okay. Then we'll figure out who we're going to get to record. And now we're 19 in, and it's like, okay, that obviously wasn't as important as we thought it was. That was a distraction from doing the actual thing.
Totally. That's just it.
Now that's a conversation we can have, right? Yeah. Like at some point, because we know we're doing this now. Like, I don't think we're going to fall off after 19 episodes. We haven't gone away yet.
You're stuck with us now.
Listening, I hope.
You're all screwed.
That's right.
You're stuck with us now.
Buckle up, bitches. We're going on a long ride.
Buckle up, bitches. That should be part of our intro. Buckle up, bitches. We're on episode 21. We're taking over the world. We're legal. 100%.
That's right.
I love it. But it's so important. And that's why I think it's so important we record this episode, because like I said before, we could say it 100 times. You're going to hear us say it over and over and over again in different episodes, that you just have to find what your goal is. If you ever need support trying to figure out what that is for yourself, you can always reach out to one of us. Throw it on our social medias, ask us questions, email us, do the things, and we'll talk about it on an episode. If you want to be a guest and you want to kind of figure out what a goal is for yourself, and you want maybe like a free coaching session for an hour with the two of us, send us an email. We'll help you figure out a goal. I think that'd be awesome. We'll help you figure out some directional activities to get you closer to a goal you'd like to start, or one that you're currently working on. I think it's really important to do those things, right? So just start, and don't worry about how big or small the thing is. Just do the thing. Get it out of the way.
Just get in the pool, people. Just get in the pool.
Get in the pool. Lose some toenails. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
I couldn't imagine. Whoa. Okay, I'll let you take it away.
Oh yeah, right. There's cue the outro. Oh fuck,
right?
We didn't get one of those yet. We should add that to our to-do list.
It is part of our to-do list.
I think I should add that in here. Where's our distraction list? We need to add that to our Google Doc here. Hold on.
So funny. So good.
Oh, we're so grateful for everybody listening. Thank you for leaving us reviews and tagging us on social media. We've had some great activity with that the last few days, so that's been super fun. We did if you didn't see it, a totally surprise giveaway for somebody who participated before. So that was fun. And we definitely want to do more of that in the future. So let that burn in your ears a little bit, that we do pay attention to that stuff. So
totally.
Be sure to hit subscribe on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, and on YouTube. And leave us reviews, like we said. And if you ever have any questions, want to reach out, if you want to be a guest, suggest a guest, or you have questions, selfloveuncensored@gmail.com.
Love it. Well, until next time. So good. Yes. So good. Well, good night, everybody. It's nighttime now. We don't record at night usually.
It's so weird. No, we don't.
Good night, world.
It's a little. Yeah, good night, even if it's morning where you are. Bye-bye.
I feel like we're reading a good night children's book. Good night, moon.
Go the fuck to sleep.
Right? Until next time, friends. Have a good night.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.